Hey guys, this is one of those videos that I made a couple years ago, and if you guys want to know how I make this truck look like this, stick around. And I know I'm standing in front of a 2025 now, but you know, this was a good one while we had it. See you later. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tanner with BuyFixFlip, and today we bought something else. So this is my, you guys haven't seen it, 5th gen Cummins 2500 2019. Bought that a couple weeks ago, and I just picked up this 2018 Ram 3500 with A's and trans with 110,000 miles on it that suffered some damages, I guess. Maybe we would call it vandalism. This guy, the gentleman that owned this, had it parked. The gentleman that owned this had it parked in a storage unit, I guess storage spot, and somebody broke this window and then shattered the windshield. They stole the driver's seat out of it. They stole both fenders, and they stole this mirror, busted that mirror, took this door panel off. I don't know what they were trying to steal. They tried to steal the airbags, and they stole every single fuse out of both these fuse boxes. So I went to pull apart yesterday and got all the ones that you see currently in here. And I got this one, this one, this one, that one, and actually that's about it. The other ones I got on Amazon this morning. I haven't been able to test drive this truck, start this truck, really anything at all. I'm just going off the guy's word. I got it for a song and a dance, basically, because it's, like I said, it does have 110,000 miles, supposedly. Carfax showed last time it had 103,000. It's a cabin chassis truck. This is the passenger seat. I just stuck in the driver's seat for now. So I haven't been able to test anything because I haven't had any fuses or relays. So, cut to the action early. Amazon just pulled up, and they gave me the rest of the fuses and relays that I need to hopefully start this. So let me get all these guys in, or most of them, and I'll pick you right back. The overheat light is flashing on the jump box, so maybe that has something to do with it. Not really sure. It says low fuel. Do they suck all the diesel out of it too? Nope, that's a lot of something leaking up front. What is leaking up here? That's diesel as well. That's leaking from the water and fuel system. Huh. I don't know what that means. Did they drain this one too? Ooh. Okay. Give me a sec. It's trying. Oh, ran for a second. Come on, baby. Too hot. Alright, let's wait and figure this out. Alright, so I'm assuming there's a lot of water in the fuel. Both bleeders were open, which is weird, thinking back about it, I guess. So I'm gonna go get 2 new fuel separators, one for the front, one for the back. And then I'm gonna get a siphon, which I have one, but it's like, I think the O-rings in it went bad. So I'm gonna get a new siphon pump and pump anything that's in the tank out. And then stop on the way home and get some fresh diesel while it's on the trailer. Maybe like 5 to 10 gallons. Nothing too crazy, something that I don't mind pumping back out if it still has a lot of water in it. So I guess I will pick you guys up. I'm headed to O'Reilly's now. I'll pick you up when I get filter swapped. Status update. Pulled the fuel sending unit off. Broke both of these brittle ass fuel lines off of it. Got mad, threw it in the yard. And I'm currently pumping all the old stuff out. As you can see, there is a lot. Oh yeah, I guess it's actually pumping itself. See it picking up all that gross stuff down there? So it's honestly good that this is happening. Hopefully it wasn't in vain. And I get the fuel filters replaced and it starts right up. I guess we'll see. It's probably, I don't know, 10 gallons or so in here, so it's only a 5-gallon jug. I guess we'll see. Me working off camera. I put the new fuel filter in. I put the new fuel separator in, or I'm sorry, water separator, fuel separator, whatever, in. And then I decided to drain the tank, and I was using the siphon pump. I just couldn't get in there far enough, so I ended up, I pulled the fuel sending unit, and I ended up breaking one of these guys off. So I got a new fuel sending unit, new water separator right here, new fuel filter in the front, and then I hooked up the jump box, of course non-recording, and I started cranking, and it sounded like it wanted to run. It's just the second it would start, it would just cut off, because it's almost like it was losing battery power. Like it was like did it and then just off, you know, so it never actually ran. So I decided to come up here to Walmart, just install the brand new batteries. I'm still up here now, as you can see. Just put brand new batteries in, and I'm impatient. I want to see if it's gonna run. So let's see. There's the siphon pump. There's the Wix filters. Come on, baby. $110,000 miles. Hell yeah. Here's the real test. Oh yeah, boys. The runner. She runs. Throttle works. Stereo works. Tow haul, exhaust brake work. Full exhaust brake on. Automatic. Steering wheel buttons don't work. Okay, cruise works. Temperature sensor isn't working. There's glass on everything. I'll get the windshield replaced tomorrow. So let's see if it'll go into reverse. It does. Perfect. So when we get home, screw with this when we get home. Got her going. So I came home after it was running, pulled it off the trailer, and took it down the road before I go get the windshield done tomorrow. My friend's like, yeah, go drive it, make sure there's no problems with it. So I went and drove it. The rear end was making the craziest noise. I called a couple shops about rebuilding it. I mean, it was insanely loud. Called a couple shops about rebuilding it, and they all said about $2,200, $2,500. I called about a used one, $3,200. I ended up popping off the fill cover, sticking my finger in. There was nothing. So I added about a half, 3/4 of a quart that I had laying around of 75/90, and took it down the block real quick, and it shut up. So I came home, popped the cover off, drained it, and it literally must have been empty. There was a little bit of a drip in the bottom of the, it's got the aluminum factory pan. There was a little drip in there. So I went and got a new gasket and 5 quarts of 75/90 synthetic, and it's quiet as can be now. AC's ice cold, runs good, no blow by. Gotta get this windshield repaired tomorrow. Gotta order a window for this side and a mirror as well for that side and this side. But the only issues that this truck has that I can find out, or I can see right now, it has a code for the DEF injector or some shit like that, and these sides, this side doesn't work. Neither does the horn, but this side works. I can do high idle. Wait. Oh, I guess I gotta be in park to do high idle, huh? So high idle works. But other than that, probably the cheapest 2018 with 110,000 miles on it. I'm gonna be in this truck well under 13 grand by the time I'm all said and done, with the new windshield, with the new window, with the new tires, you name it. So I'm going over here to park it at my neighbor's house currently because it is gonna pour tonight, and I need to go take it in the morning to get the windshield done. So I'll pick you guys up tomorrow. New windshield installed. Went to Safe Light yesterday. I just ordered new fenders and a driver's seat. And I'm going to pick up this window this morning for $45. So this is the passenger seat that belongs over here, but it's over there just so I can move it around. You know, simple bolting. But I ordered new mirrors, new fender, well, used fenders, used driver's seat. And then I also ordered brake lights, tail lights, and reverse lights. The rear end I'm thinking is bad. There was no fluid in it at all. So I had to put on a new diff cover gasket, and I don't know if you can see what I had to do with the wheels here for temporarily moving it, because they stabbed 2 of the tires. So again, regardless, at least we're not in it a lot of money here. But I guess I didn't even think to get the inner fenders. I probably need those as well. I'll probably call the guy today and get those coming. But so here it is. I'm gonna try to get a flatbed for it. They're kind of expensive these days. Back in 2018, I got a brand new aluminum one for like $2,200 out the door. And now they're like $4,200 out the door. So I'm probably gonna have to cut off these very nice welds, which sucks, and then cut these crappy welds off, put on a flatbed, because there's no trailer hitch at all, and I could mount one down here, but I don't really like the look of an incomplete truck. I can't really use it. Plus, if I get a flatbed, I could probably throw wheelies on top of there. That'd be cool. But yeah, so now I dropped this down last night to see if something was disconnected, because these don't work and the horn doesn't work. So I started screwing with all kinds of connectors and stuff, seeing if I could figure it out. Of course, I did not figure it out. So these ones work.
25407.
Ouch. So yeah. So if you guys know a fix for this, let me know. I don't know why it does a long crank either. So I've been doing a lot of work on the truck. Got both fenders on. I got it all cleaned up. Got all the writing off the sides. Got 6 good tires on. Got the windshield replaced. Put a passenger window in it as well. Got a driver's seat for it. Got the seat all in, good to go. Got the whole interior done. And giant nest of wiring for the taillights and brake lights and turn signals that I hooked up. That I riv nutted in the little holes for the license plate light, or license plate bracket. Put in a fresh license plate light as well. And now I'm about to paint these really quick and go over the wheels. So give me a second. The pictures you're seeing now are the truck after I got done painting the wheel wells and the wheels. But basically, during this time, I found out that the rear axle actually was bad. So the next clips that you're going to see is either me taking the axle out or putting the axle in, one of the two. But I ended up having to redo it, and it cost a lot of money. So we got the rear axle pulled out. I had to put a new ring and pinion gear in it, and all new bearings, new wheel bearings, new brake rotors. It just laying underneath the truck because it needs to be put back in, which is not the easiest thing to do by yourself, obviously. So I'm waiting for a buddy to come over and help me. Hopefully help me. If not, I can get it. Obviously, I've done them before by myself. So I would say I'm probably not the best at recording videos and putting everything in timeline, and you know, I get kind of amped up a lot and just do a lot of stuff without telling anybody about it or recording it. So here I am just walking around the truck taking videos. I was waiting for a guy to come and buy this Canicom concrete buggy off me, but yeah, right here. I guess I'll give a little blip of the throttle here in a sec, but I ended up straight piping this truck, and some stuff fell off of it that made it a little reliable. Let's see here. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That made it a little bit more reliable, and you know, made it get a little better fuel mileage. But I kept this truck around for a while over the summer. I ended up getting a trailer hitch put on it. And then I kind of lucked into my next truck, which same thing, was a broken down 4th gen, but I got it for even cheaper than I got this truck for, and it was a 4-door, so I could haul the dogs around. But that's going to about do it for this one, so we will catch you guys in the next one.